I get lied to every single day by people that come into this dealership. No one tells the truth. I deal with subprime clients. That means that the people that I usually deal with have credit scores in the 430 FICO score all the way up to like 550 on average when they come to this dealership. They've already been rejected everywhere else. Big dealerships won't take them. Other dealerships around the area won't take them. Because they're a hassle to deal with sometimes. But everybody deserves, an opportunity. The reason why I take them is because that is our business structure. That is our business model. We're here to provide some assistance to the people that actually want to better themselves. And I like doing that, helping those that are a little bit on the downside, that want to finally improve their lives. At least that's the overall goal of why I do what I do. Could I be dealing with better clients? Say no to all of them? Yes, absolutely. Nothing stops me from doing that. But that's not our business model here. Oh, look, a penny. One for good luck. Well, this is where the sponsored ad section would be. If I could just get enough subscribers so that some sponsor can sponsor me, so that I can have a sponsored ad where I can get some crazy amount of money. But I can't do that if you guys don't subscribe or comment or, share this post. Otherwise, how would I be able to fulfill my midlife crisis and buy myself a Viper that I've always wanted, but I'm not able to because I'm not able to get sponsors in this sponsored ad section? So please subscribe and comment and share and repost and tell a friend. Back to our show. But not many people can deal with the types of clients that I deal with. You have to be very strong mentally to be able to, accept who they are. Some of my clients, how do I put it? They demand perfection when they themselves are not perfect. I do sell older cars, that's for sure. And they're good for the most part. I want them to last, for the length of the loan, and that's the goal. With no issues, obviously, would be the ideal scenario. But what happens when someone takes a loan, they take on the car, and they don't maintain it, they don't take care of it? Well, most people, would fix those issues that come up. Subprime clients think a little bit different. They think the world owes them everything. And so therefore, they're going to blame, the dealership, the car, everyone but themselves. And that's just the nature of the beast. And that's why I have to sell almost perfect cars. Unfortunately, I can't predict the future, but, that's what the risk is. So how do they lie to me? Well, it's a long story, and I'm going to try to summarize it. But, they bring me fake pay stubs. They don't have a stable job. They make promises that they're going to do their best to pay. The majority of the clients I have to chase, meaning I have to remind them every time that there's a payment coming, even though our automated system does it, but it's a lot of work. Some of them even change their numbers like so consistently. It's amazing. They can't even keep a number sometimes. So when our system sends them a reminder that payment is due, they're nowhere to be found. And then eventually something happens with the car, and so they call me with their new number and tell me, oh, by the way, this is my new number. That's the way it works. They never notify me when they move. That's another one. Man, they change addresses like they change underwear sometimes. I know I'm making it sound really horrible, but on average, I'm only talking about, the 10%, of the clients. The majority of them actually do want to improve their lives. And so they do their best to make the payments. And that's why I continue doing it. So not all of them are bad, and that's why I don't mind giving them opportunities, because there's few exceptions out there. I have a story, for example. There's a client of mine that has purchased 3 vehicles from me already. His first one was, actually I don't want to say what kind of car it was, but it was a older car, but it was a very reliable car. He went through the whole loan process, boom, paid it off. Amazing. The next car he got for his wife, right? Same thing, paid off everything. Amazing, right? And then he got really comfortable with me. He started telling me all his life stories, telling me that he was in federal prison, telling me, he even showed me his workout routine inside my office. It was amazing. He told me that he was in a 4x6 cubicle, and this was his workout routine that he did every day to stay in shape. And then I was thinking, oh my God, he was in federal prison. But, if I would have known that from the get-go, would things have been different? Well, he's still one of my top clients. He's on his 3rd card now. He's in another loan process. He's paying everything off. Wonderful human being. And the reason why he's wonderful, kind of like I call it like the Mike Tyson theory, right? Where you have the potential, to do some real damage. You become the most humble person out there. That's just because deep down inside, you don't want to deal with those demons again. Well, anyway, this guy's a really wonderful human being. I'm glad that, I made the loan with him. I'm glad that he's on his 3rd car. He's taking care of his duties, responsibilities. His credit is going up. That's what makes it worthwhile. Amazing clients. Overall, would I change my business structure just to deal with quote-unquote better clients? Nah, I have a market here. I know I'm doing good. I feel comfortable sleeping at night, knowing that I did my best. So, just gotta keep working. I gotta keep making a difference one way or another. This is what I mean by sometimes these clients demand too much for who they are. We already know that they've been rejected everywhere. We already know that they're not as responsible as they should be. We already know that their credit is really, really bad. But what do they want? 0 down payment. That's the best one. They expect me, to give them a car. It's worth a lot of money for 0 down to a person that hasn't proven their worth or value. Would you do that? That's insane, isn't it?